about the many services available to you through the Teaneck Public Library. We're going to cover a lot of things in this program, and a recording will be made available afterwards on the library's YouTube account in case you missed something or want to pass it on to somebody else. During the program, feel free to ask any questions as we go along by typing them in the chat box at the bottom of the screen or using the Q&A function. In addition, at the end of the webinar, we will take time to answer your questions. So before I start, I want to introduce Miss Margot, one of our librarians, who will provide an introduction to any Spanish-speaking viewers.
Hola, buenas noches. Bienvenido al programa virtual del regreso a escuela de la biblioteca de Teaneck. Estaremos cubriendo varios temas sobre los servicios de la biblioteca de Teaneck en este programa y la grabación será disponible más tarde en nuestra página de YouTube. Te invitamos a compartir el programa con otros que se pueden beneficiar. Si usted tiene alguna pregunta mediante el programa, lo puedes escribir en el recuadro de conversación o chat. Los últimos 15 minutos del programa serán dedicados a responder a preguntas, pero pueden seguir escribiendo sus preguntas en cualquier momento durante el programa. Muchas gracias. Ms. Sears?
All right. We know this has been a very challenging year for our community, and we hope that our library's resources will make life a little easier for you as you navigate this school year and everything else that goes on. We're excited to share with you many ways to find a book as well, or movie or video game, whatever. And now we're ready to start. So I'm going to turn it over to Miss Jackie. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you. My name is Jackie. I am the Teen Services Librarian here at the Teaneck Library, and I'm very happy to be able to welcome you and say hello. Tonight we are going to go over a lot of our services that we're offering virtually. I did want to let you know, however, that we are happy to announce that we've been able to expand some of our services, and that includes indoor express browsing. We just started this yesterday, so Monday through Friday from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. we are welcoming our patrons back into the building to be able to browse for materials. Unfortunately, we don't have our computers available right now, and there's no seating available, and the limits are 30 minutes. But we are also here if you have any reference questions or need help finding anything. So aside from that, we are going to take a look at our website tonight. We're going to start at www.teanecklibrary.org. Our library website is where you're going to find pretty much all our virtual services that we have to offer. But first, the first main thing that you'll need in order to use the library is a library card. So we're going to start at the basics. If you say you don't have a library card, or you have your card but you have no idea where it is, it's been so long since you've been here and so you don't know what your library card number is, we can help you with getting a new one. So you're going to go to the top right corner of the screen to where it says get a library card online. So you'll click that. You'll be redirected to the Buckles website, and you're going to select Teaneck Library, enter our zip code in, and this will bring you to a screen to then enter your personal information, which is just standard library card application information. It also asks you to create a username if you'd like, and a password. And then when you hit submit, it will go to us. It will take a couple days for us to be able to process it, and once it's done, you will receive an email. So make sure the email address that you give us is one that you have access to, because you will be notified of your new library card through email, so that you'll be able to access that in that account as soon as possible. Then when you're ready to pick up your physical card, it'll be here waiting for you at the circulation desk. So we want to make sure that everybody has access to a library card. And once you have your card, you can start borrowing materials. So we'll go back to our home page, and I'm going to show you how to place items on hold. So there are several different situations or scenarios when you might want to place an item on hold. The first one is when you know the title that you're looking for, you have an idea of who the author is, and you just need a simple hold. And that you can access the catalog by clicking Find a Book at the top middle of the page. And we're going to just type the book title and author that we're looking for. So I'm going to look for the book Ghost by Jason Reynolds. And let's see what comes up. All right, first result. And there are no copies available currently in the building, but I can put a copy on hold through Buckles. So I'm going to head over to the right-hand side, and I'm going to put place request. So now I'll enter the library card number and the password, and we'll hit login. And once we hit login, we'll just check. I want to pick it up here at Teaneck, so we're going to keep that the way it is and hit submit request. And well, it won't say that on your screen, but it does say that we already placed a request because we did that last night. So now you're also in your library account. So having access to your library account is very useful. You can do all sorts of things once you're in the account. So you can check to see what other items you have out. You can check to see the status on another hold that you may have. You can even pay fines right all on the same page, so that's very useful. Another helpful thing is being able to keep a record of the items that you've checked out in the past. So if you go to My Record, and then you're going to select Contact Information and Preferences, that's going to have all your information, but then on the right-hand side, on the bottom, maintain reading history. You want to make sure that's checked off if you want to keep a history of all the items that you've checked out in the past, which could be useful if you want to go back and reference something that you've read in the past, but you can't remember what it was called, which happens quite a bit. We get that question a lot. So I like to just recommend people just check it off as soon as they make their account. Okay, so that is a lot of information about putting on a simple hold. But say the other scenario is that you or your teen has a school assignment and they don't know exactly what the title is, but they know that they have to get a certain type of material. You can head to the Kids and Teens page, which is a new feature to our website that we were excited to be able to launch recently. And a feature that we have is called curriculum support. So this page is something that you will submit to us anytime you have an assignment or a project coming up and you need materials for the library. So you can give us your basic information, name, library card, the grade of the student, and then you can just tell us a description of what the project or assignment is, what type of materials you'll need, whether it's fiction or nonfiction, if it's a book or maybe an article from a database. Just let us know what the requirements are and we'll be able to find the appropriate materials for you. We'll place them on hold and you'll receive an email once it's available for pickup. So just like any other hold, it may take a day or so for us to be able to fulfill it. So just be patient. Hopefully all the materials that we find for you will be appropriate, but it's definitely really important that you are descriptive with what exactly you need so that we can find the best items to match your request. And then the next way I want to show you is by going back to our page and going to our Surprise Me requests that you can also find on our Kids and Teens page. So their surprise me request is in case you're just looking for some books to read. So sometimes we get requests for people that say, oh, I don't know what I want, but I know I want to read the next good book that I'm going to be engaged in. So the Surprise Me form is for all ages in the library. We have adult, teen, and children's, and you can select what type of book or material it is. So for young kids, they might want to start working on early readers, or if they're older or teens, they would probably want a chapter book or novel. You can let us know how many items you'll want. If you're going to have a long weekend, maybe you want to get several novels to read. And then also the format, what type of interest. So whether you're a science fiction or a humor reader, definitely let us know what will interest the reader, and even explaining in details what you're interested in will help us. Sometimes I'll have a request for a teen that'll say like that they want books, but then their interests are always TV shows and there are never other books. But that does help me a lot, because knowing what they watch can actually help me to get an idea of what they'll enjoy reading. And one thing I always like to point out too is definitely let us know what they don't want and what they didn't like in the past, because we would hate to pair the wrong material to a reader or any of our patrons. So after you fill out all of that out, you'll hit submit, and it'll go to one of us. And again, once we get all the materials together, we'll place an automatic hold for you, and those items will be available, and you'll receive an email notification when they're ready to pick up. I should mention also that even though we are opening back up for limited hours and that our circulation desk is open, we still are offering contactless pickup. So if you would prefer not to come in the building, that's perfectly fine. Just feel free to call us when you're outside and let us know your information, your name, and we will bring the items outside for contactless pickup. Okay. So now we are going to switch gears a little bit and start talking about our digital services with Alicia. So let's see.
Hi, I'm Miss Alicia, and I'm going to talk to you about some of our digital collections tonight. We have many digital collections, but we're going to be focusing on 3 that might be most helpful for you. One of our newest ones I'm not going to talk about tonight is called Creative Bug, and it has thousands of lessons on crafting and making. So I definitely suggest you check that one out. But tonight we're going to start with probably our most popular collection, which is our Overdrive collection. Overdrive offers ebooks and e-audiobooks. And you can use it either on your computer, on your tablet, or on your phone. No matter where you're using it, your checkouts, your borrowed items will sync across all of the devices. So if you're listing on your phone and then all of a sudden you decide to use your tablet, you can just switch between them seamlessly. So you find Overdrive either in your app store under Libby, that's the name of their app, or you can look on our Kids and Teens page, that's where Jackie is right now, under Libby by Overdrive. It's under ebooks and more on our Kids and Teens page. Or you can go under Borrow, and all of our digital collections are under Borrow on our website, right there, digital content. So if you go to the Overdrive website, the first thing you're going to need to do is put in your library card number, and that will connect you to our collection for you. Buckles libraries have a combined thousands of items on ebook and audiobook, but Teaneck does also buy its own ebook and e-audiobook titles. They're floating around in the cloud, but they're considered ours. So Teaneck patrons have priority on those items. So if there's a wait list for them and there's 3 people from Hackensack and it's a Teaneck item, you will be bumped to the top of the list. So we are purchasing popular titles and titles with wait lists so that there will be a shorter wait for our patrons. So if you put in your library card, you will create an account. You're just going to put in your email and your name. It requires very little information. This is what their homepage looks like, and there's some themed collections on there. At the top, you'll see that there's also a kids and teens category. So if you wanted to look through some YA books, you can click on teens, and there are also some themed collections there. Ooh, they have a new horror one there. You can see at the bottom of each cover, there's a little icon that says ebook or e-audiobook. Actually, it just says audiobook, I think, with little headphones. That's how you tell them apart. You can filter it so that you're only seeing one or the other if you're only interested in one. At the top of the cover, you'll see where it says available, or it will sometimes say wait list. That means that there's a wait list on that item and you'll have to wait for it. Oh, that line, there's wait list in white. So either way, if you want to borrow it or put it on hold, you go to the bottom where it says place a hold or borrow. And you'll put in your email address if you're placing a hold, and they'll email you when it's available. If you're using a tablet or a phone, it will also pop up a notification that your hold is ready. And if you're in the middle of reading a book when your hold comes, you can defer it so that you keep your spot in line, but it will come back to you later, so you're not wasting time on your loan. Each ebook and audiobook you have for 14 days, and then it automatically disappears from your device. If you need it for longer, you can renew it if no one's waiting, or you can place a hold on it again so that it'll come back to you as soon as possible. There's also a little bookmark icon, and that will allow you to put any title on a wish list, or you can name your little wish list, to read in 2021 and generate a list. So if you do that on your computer, it will not sync to your phone, unfortunately. But if you just do that on the device you use most, then you can keep that wish list running. If you want to see any items that you have out or that you have on hold, you'll go to the top and it'll say My Account. And you can just click there. You can see all of your holds, your loans, your wish list, recommendations for you. If you want to search for a specific item, you go to the top, the magnifying glass icon, and you just type in, let's look for Ghost again, Ghost by Jason Reynolds. And, oh, that's not available here. Huh. Well, I thought it was yesterday. Oh, we're not signed in, maybe. Anyway. If we own it, it will come up there. Also, an important thing to know is you have 5 items per card at any given time. So you can check out 5 things. If you return one, then you can check out another. You can just have 5 at any given time. And that's per card. So you can have your family's cards on your device. If you're all sharing a device, you could have your mom's card on there. You could have your card on there. And there's still 5 items for each of those cards. So next we're going to look at Hoopla. Hoopla also offers ebooks and audiobooks, but it also offers music, movies, and TV. And on Hoopla, you don't have any holds, which is nice. You don't have to wait for anything. Everything is readily available. So that's also under ebooks and more, or you can again go under borrow digital content. So there's Hoopla Digital. You can also download it as an app on your tablet or on your phone, or you can use it on your computer like we're doing tonight. When you first use it, you will put in your library card and it will ask you, I think, what state or what library you're from. And then you have to put in your name and your email, and that's about it. When you go to, I think we ended up in the account page, which is fine. I can show you this. Under My Hoopla, this is your account, so you can see what you currently have out. And it says you can borrow 9 more titles this month. So on Hoopla, you can have up to 10 items per month. And each item you can have for quite a while. This particular, I think we borrowed this video. It was 21 days when we borrowed it. And then once the month is over, then your borrows re-up. So then you have 10 more titles for the next month. So if you go to the top, you can browse by category, audiobooks, movies, etc. You can also search for a specific item that you want. And on the right side where it says kids, if you check that off, it will filter the content only for kids. So if we search here for Crown by Derek Barnes, which is the one that we have out, but we'll see the other formats. We have it in a movie form, an audiobook form, and an ebook format. So you can borrow any one of those just by clicking on the cover image, and then under the cover image, it will say borrow. Here it says read because we already did borrow this, I believe. And then that little heart is where you can make a list of favorites. So Hoopla is really great because they have pretty popular movies, sometimes very new movies and new titles, and you don't have to wait at all. I forgot to mention that on Overdrive, you can also filter it for things that are available. So if you're browsing and you know you want to check something out right away, you can just check off available titles, and then you'll only see stuff that's available. So you're not teasing yourself by saying, oh, I really want to read that, and it's not available right now. Okay, so we're going to move on from Hoopla and talk about our last digital resource of the night, and that is Brainfuse. Brainfuse provides live tutoring, homework help, and study tools. And you can also access that from our Kids and Teens page under eBooks and more, or under Borrow under digital content again. So if we click on eBooks and more, it's the first one. Click on Brainfuse there. It is also an app in your app store called Brainfuse Help Now. But some people find it easier to use on a larger screen on a computer. You can enter your library card number and then log in. This will give you access, but it's also important to create an account because some of the features you need to have an account in order to use them. So the first thing I'll show you is the writing lab. If you're writing essays or papers, this is a great tool to use. You can, oh, we got to log into our account for that one. You can upload a paper that you've written. Maybe you didn't finish it. Maybe you finished it and you just need some advice. Then you can add some comments. So you could say, oh, our assignment was to write an essay on someone who inspires us. Or you could give the parameters of the paper that your teacher has given you. Or you could say that's something that you're struggling with, something you would like them to give you suggestions about specifically, like I really didn't like the ending, or I need help with my introduction. Then you upload it, and within 24 hours, a tutor will send you back constructive feedback on your paper. So that's a great tool on Brainfuse. The next one we're going to talk about is Skills Surfer. On Skills Surfer, there's an extensive library of lessons, videos, and practice tests. So if you select high school for our teens, and then choose, there's AP exam prep. There are different subject levels, different grade levels. There's also college entrance test prep. You can check on that one. There's, I think, SAT tests on the next category. Yeah, PSATs and SAT prep. So that will give you different videos, different lessons, and you can take practice tests right on Brainfuse. So that's a great one for our high school students preparing for college. If we go back to our main menu, the next tool is Send Question. That one's great, especially when live tutoring isn't available in the morning or very late at night if you're trying to get your stuff done. I know I always waited till the last minute. If you put in your grade level and then your subject, so say 10th grade, math, or trig, You can enter a question. So if you're trying to do your trig homework and you're just so confused, you can say, I really don't understand how to do this. Can you explain this concept to me? You can then also upload a file. So if you're working from your textbook or you have a page of trig questions to complete, you could upload that for your tutor so that they know exactly what you need help with. And then you can submit your question. And again, you'll receive a response usually within 24 hours to help you out. And the next tool we'll talk about, there is we're not going to go into it, but there is a language lab where you can get help on Spanish and French right now, and they are expanding to different languages. So you can get help there. And also Flashbulb is great, especially when you're self-studying, when you're at home and you're trying to prep for a test. It has all different flashcards for all different grades and all different subjects. Those are all pre-made ones, or you can make your own set. So if you're studying for, I don't know, a bio test and you're going to be tested on specific vocabulary words in bio, you can make yourself a set of flashcards that are just those words. You can print them out, or it will create little games for you, like a matching game or a hangman game or a word scramble. So you can use those to test yourself and practice. And then last, we'll show you probably the most popular feature of Brainfuse, which is live tutoring. So you go to that, it's right at the top. You again select your grade and your subject. That way you'll be paired with a tutor that is an expert in that grade or that subject. The tutors are all vetted professionals and they're all intensively trained both to work with you and with this technology. So once you do this, it'll pop up a new window. Tutoring is available between 2 p.m. and 11 p.m. at night, and there's usually not a very long wait. They increase tutors as needed to keep the wait times low. So this is what the screen looks like when it comes up. On the right side is the chat box, and usually a tutor will pop up fairly quickly and say, hey, how can I help you? On the left side here, there's a big whiteboard, and you can use that to explain what you're having trouble with. You can type text in the box and say, I'm trying to figure out, I don't know, a chemical equation. And then you can write it in on the whiteboard using your text feature down at the bottom, or you can draw it with your little pencil tool. And then your tutor can also respond to you in the chat box, and they can also write on your whiteboard. Now, the great thing about this is not only will they help you figure out how to do it, they're not going to give you the answer, but they will help you to figure it out so that you know the answer. And then you can go back to it in your account. So if you work with a tutor on this particular equation, and you then later are confused about it again and you can't remember what they said, you can go back into your account and re-watch your tutoring session. So this is available again from 2 p.m. to 11 p.m. and they'll work with you until you are feeling like you understand it. So it's a great resource. I think that's all we're going to show you in Brainfuse tonight, but if you have any additional questions about Brainfuse or about any of our digital content, our databases, we're happy to help you with it. You could ask us tonight in the chat box. You could call us, you could email us. We'd be happy to work with you to get used to these digital resources. I think next we're going to talk about some teen programs that we have for you. So.
Yes, thank you. That was so much fun. Thanks. Yes, so we are going to talk about the teen programs that we have coming up for the fall. If you have a teen at home, we want to make sure to hear from them and make sure that we're offering services that they want and that they need. The first thing that I will mention is the biggest need that I see for our teens in terms of programs for Teaneck Library is offering volunteer service. I know that a lot of the Teaneck teens have a lot of volunteer or service credit requirements. And I want to point out that even though the world is virtual right now, it doesn't mean that we're not offering virtual volunteer opportunities. I do have a number of things that they can do. And the first thing is every Tuesday, we have Teen Tuesdays happening at 4 o'clock on Zoom. So teens can drop in, say hi, speak and meet one another. This is for us to try to emulate our Teen Tuesdays that we used to have in person in our auditorium every week. So just like in those sessions, I am able to get a lot of information about what teens are reading currently, what they're watching, what they're listening to, what they want. And that really helps us to create our programs in the future. In fact, a lot of the other programs that we'll be hearing about are programs that the teens and Teen Tuesdays kind of helped me develop over the summer. So there is a lot of value for it, and it's they do get volunteer credit. I keep a record for everybody. There is a teen volunteer application on our website. I will point to that very quickly. It's under support. And if you go to volunteering, teen volunteer application, I just ask that every teen that's going to volunteer fills out that application. And if they want to come to Teen Tuesdays first beforehand, just to see what it's like, that's fine. But I do like the application because it helps me keep an organized record of everybody's information and how to get a hold of them, and helps me keep track of how many hours they have. So the next thing I'm going to discuss is something I'm very excited about because this was teen created over the summer, is our teen trivia nights. So next Wednesday at 7 p.m. we're going to be doing Teaneck trivia, and it's all questions all about Teaneck. So that should be a lot of fun, and I'm very curious to know if everybody knows the answers, because I didn't know most of the answers when they asked the questions. That's going to be on Zoom as well. We do have just a couple more spaces left for our hand sewing workshop that's happening on Thursday, October 29th. So that is going to be with physical materials, but on Zoom, we have a sewing instructor coming in to help us and teach us how to make a pillow using needle and thread, and the pillow is going to have autumn leaves on it. We do have supply kits. So after they register, the supply kits will be available for each attendee 1 week prior to the event. So that'll start next Thursday. You can come pick it up. You can call us and we'll bring them outside for contactless pickup if you'd prefer. And then we are doing a monthly book club this fall. So we still have space for the November book club in December. So November's book that we're reading is Other Words from Home, for Home. And that book is available in print and also on Hoopla and on Overdrive. So I made sure that the books that we're reading this fall is available on all different formats, just in case you need to change up how you are reading. And then we also have listed here a teen volunteer orientation. So if you want to learn more about what the other volunteer options are, we do have things like write a book review right now, social media blogger. So come to the volunteer orientation, which is the first Thursday of every month at 4 p.m., also on Zoom. And we'll be able to get you started with that. And also attendance for that does count as volunteer service. So if the teen already came to volunteer orientation last month and they're not sure, they can come again and they'll get credit for both times. That's totally fine. And we also are doing once a month Mario Kart tournaments. So the tournaments are on Nintendo Switch, and they are for Nintendo online accounts. So you have to have the online account with the game and the console. And our Switch code is right in on the website that you can access at any time. And then you can race me and some other Teaneck teens. Our next trivia for November is going to be Friends Trivia. And then we'll do the last book club of the year is going to be with the book The Poet X, which is an excellent book if you haven't read it. I tell the teens to read it, but adults should read it as well too, because it's really great. It won the Prince Award, among many other awards when it came out. So that's going to be Wednesday, December 2nd at 7 p.m. And then our last trivia of the year is going to be Stranger Things trivia on Wednesday, December 16th. So all of our programs are, or at least all of my programs currently are on Zoom, and registration is required. So we just ask that everybody registers beforehand. If your teen doesn't have their library card number, but they want to register, there is an option for them to just call, email me and let me know what school they're at, what their grade is, the email address, and first and last name, and I will register them myself. So you'll see my email address listed in the Zoom application if you're trying to get there. And I think that's it for our teen programs right now. So now I'm going to check and see if anybody has any questions at all. Let's see.
I just want to let people know a quirk with Overdrive is if you're in a specific section, adult, teen, or kids, it will only limit your access to those titles. Even though the titles may be available in the bigger Overdrive world, they only seem to think that you just want that in that section. So
Thank
knew
you.
it
That
existed.
explains it.
That's why we couldn't find Ghost.
Yeah, I knew it existed.
Just
Thank
another
you.
little thing with Overdrive. If you have a Kindle Fire and you're looking in the App
Oh, right.
Store, yeah, don't look for Libby, look for Overdrive. The name of the app in the App Store is Overdrive, if it's a Kindle
Thank you
Fire.
for correcting me on that. It's important.
Gotcha. Anything else? I don't know if we missed anything.
Oh, thank you. We're glad we were able to help. I'm just looking in the chat. She's been
Yeah.
very helpful.
Thanks. And I saw Alexis is registered for the sewing program, so he's super excited to have her in that. All right, so we will end, and hopefully we'll see you in some programs in the future. Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Good night.